Hello everyone, this is LaToya of Infinitenature and I am back with a new video. Today I wanted to talk about the essential items that you will need to embark on your raw vegan challenge, or if you want to embark on the raw vegan lifestyle. And I made this list back in May for the 31-day raw vegan challenge. And it's a real simple list, and I'm gonna be looking at the notes that I have here so that I can stay on track. So number one is a good knife. That is very important, to have a good quality knife. So because you're going to be doing a lot of cutting. So that's very self-explanatory. When you're eating raw, you do use a knife a lot because you're cutting up a lot of produce. That is imperative. It's a must. You don't want to have like a dull knives or no really good knives. It's important to have that. So that's big. And of course, having a cutting board is also beneficial. So that makes your cutting experience easier when you have a good quality knife and a cutting board. The next one is having a blender. It doesn't have to be a high-speed blender, although a high-speed blender like a Vitamix is way more it's better with blending things. And when you start doing like more gourmet type meals, it's just better with blending things. I particularly prefer the Vitamix. I know that some people use the other one. I forgot the name of it that quick. But there's another one that's a little bit cheaper, but I don't like that one. I completely forgot the name of it. But it's cheaper than a Vitamix. It's still more of it's still like consider, I guess, a high-speed blender, but it's not of quality like the Vitamix, in my opinion. And I say that is because when me and my husband, we've made green protein smoothies with that particular blender, and it did not blend our smoothies as well as a Vitamix did. And I recall somebody even mentioning that they tried the protein the powder protein that we normally use, and they tried it and they didn't like it because it was too grainy in it. But then I found out that they used the blender that I don't really care for, and I was like, well, if you probably used the Vitamix, it would have turned out way better. But yeah, it's to each his own. Most people will say that Vitamix is better than that particular blender, and I will post what it is once I remember, because I don't remember what it is. But yeah, so yeah, but do not feel like you have to get a high-speed blender, because I didn't start out with a high-speed blender. But I will say that if you do a lot of smoothies, if you blend up a lot of stuff, if you use the blender to make recipes and stuff like that, because you can make your own salad dressings, you can make your own sauces and all of that. So it is a good investment if you're one of those people that do use your blender a lot, because I remember when I started my vegan journey, I was using the blender every day to make smoothies, and I had a cheaper blender, and it died on me because I was just using it so much, and it died fast. So yeah. So the next one is have creativity. As I have stated in so many videos, it's so important to be creative in the kitchen. That's the only way to stay excited during your journey or during this life-changing, experience. Yeah, you're gonna have to use your creativity. That is a way to get you excited and want to prepare more meals, or make you want to stick out the challenge depending on how long you want to do it. So yeah, it's important to be creative. Get recipe books, get different, there's all types of recipe books. Yeah, and I might make a video talking about that, because I want to stay focused. But yeah, it's a lot of good raw vegan cookbooks out there, or recipe books. It's not really cooking, but yeah. Have an open mind. I think that when you tap into your creativity, you can have an it will make your mind way more open, or vice versa. When you have an open mind, it can lead you to being creative in the kitchen and have different ways of preparing your meals. So just really have an open mind. I think that sometimes people, when they think of raw, they just think of it as so bland. And it's supposed to be simple, but it doesn't have to be bland. It doesn't have to be like punishing and restrictive, because it's not really like that. It really is exciting and creative. So yeah. The next thing I have is a journal. It's really good to have a journal. Document what foods you're eating, how you feel, how do you feel after you eat certain meals. If you have dreams, because sometimes you sleep better and you have more vivid dreams, it's really good to have a journal to process your feelings and your emotions and your experience, because it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental and emotional and a spiritual experience too. And of course, have produce. Prepare. You're gonna have to have your produce, so that's very important. And start with your favorite produce, your favorite fruits, your favorite vegetables. Get some nuts and seeds if you're not allergic to them. So that's very important. And also, I have bonus items on here, but it's not required. A dehydrator. Me and my husband, we didn't get a dehydrator until we were raw vegan for a little over a year, and that's when I started to really start making a lot of different recipes. It's so exciting getting a dehydrator, but don't feel like you have to get one immediately. Don't feel like you have to get like the most expensive one initially. But yeah, we did get the Excalibur brand. That's the best brand to get. But don't feel like you have to get the biggest one or the most expensive brand. You can start off small and then you grow. A juicer. Oh yes. You definitely can get a juicer so that you are able to juice your fruits and your vegetables and all of that stuff. So that's very, very important. And also, you can use it for different items like carrot tuna. Like that's how I make carrot tuna, is through juicing the juice and then having the pulp, mixing the juice and the pulp together. So yeah, you can use your juicer for your juice, but don't feel like you have to get one unless you really want to have one and you plan on juicing a lot. But you can just use the manual, what is the manual, a manual juicer? I don't know if it's a particular name for it. But yeah, you can get something manual if you really want to, have some juice, some like orange juice or something. A food processor, because I know that when you can use your high-speed blender as a food processor, but to me, I've learned is that there's certain things that is better to use your food processor for versus a high-speed blender. It just mixes certain things better. And I didn't get a food processor until Mother's Day. I got that as a Mother's Day gift. So yes, if you have one, that's awesome. But don't feel like you have to have it. It's a bonus item. And a favorite inspirational book. I think that it's good to have that along with your journal. Have a book that inspires you, that helps you be mentally present, and inspires you to stick with this experience. So yeah, having an inspirational book, something like 31-Day Mental Diet. I think that's a good one to use in alignment with that. Just whatever resonates with you, So that's all that I wanted to share. There's definitely more that could be added on, and if you want to share things that you've added on to your particular list, you can definitely share it. But that's all for now, and stay tuned for more videos. You can follow me on Instagram at Infinitenature1. You can follow me on Facebook at Infinitenature, Twitter at Infinitenature1, and Tumblr at Infinitenature. and you have a wonderful and beautiful day.